Hi, my friend. Welcome back. Are you familiar that you feel anxious for no reason sometimes? And especially after scrolling your phone, after reading all the news or watching all the news, tragedies, chaos, economies, politicians, there's so many things that make you so anxious. And today I'm going to share with you how I can turn anxiety and fear to work for me rather than against me. The first thing we need to believe is both faith and fear are beliefs. We used to believe that faith means that you have strong belief, but that's not the case. In fact, I believe sometimes fear will take you more stronger belief. They both are beliefs, but one is more working for you and the other one is more working against you. One is more positive and one is more negative. Let me give an example. If there's half glass of water and someone would say there's there is half glass of water full, you can see that. These are the optimists and these are the people who are positive will say that. But there are also people who are saying, well, it's also empty, half glass empty. And that is true as well, right? But if we pause for a moment, the guys who are saying, hey, this is half glass empty, it's also not a bad thing. If you can turn that to be more cautious and to be more aware of the problem, you can immediately turn that to the positive outcome, and that will change the whole game. Let me give an example. In my life, especially as an entrepreneur, I also have to face anxiety and fear regularly and very often. No matter if I'm telling you that I'm faithful, I'm fearless, it's all lies. When I say lies, it's like it's impossible to be faithful and fearless all the time, 24/7. There are the time that suddenly I become and I think about it, little bit doubts, little bit anxiety, but as long as we know how to use that, how to turn these things to power, we won't get stuck. And the difference is, whenever the anxiety hits me, I will say to myself, hang on a minute, just like when I go to the gym room, if I'm doing this workout, if I don't feel anything, it's actually wasting my time, completely wasting my time. Why am I even here? But when I feel that anxiety, that fear, that worries, and all this kind of stuff, it becomes a little bit harder and it makes it more interesting. Why did I say that? Because every time when anxiety comes to attack me, I'll say to myself, deep breath first. That's my strategy number one. And then number two is I'll say to myself, that is a muscle, is creating a muscle. And strategy number three is I'll say to myself, the mountaintop is never crowned. Whenever this anxiety, whenever this is getting harder and it makes me anxious and worried, that means not many people dare to do this. And if I'm taking a risk, if I'm adventurous, that means I am one of the top ones at the mountaintop. Even though I'm still getting there, at least I'm already 90% ahead. Does that apply to you? Does that ring your bell? So the next time, whenever you have anxiety hitting you and telling you, oh my gosh, how do you know you can get the income next month? How do you know the clients are not leaving you? All these negative voices and doubts and fear attacking you, you know what to do now? Well, I acknowledge all of that, but that also says I am practicing my muscle. Because at the end of the day, it's never about what's happening in between, and life is never just a short run. It is a marathon. And that means whenever something happened, it's everything is temporary. As long as you know and you believe where you're heading to at the end of that destination, nothing can stop you. And all the barriers suddenly become your stepping stones. You'll be way happier. Come on, bring it up, bring it on. I know this is going to happen. I'm going to step on them. It will help me to speed up my success. How awesome is that, my friend? I don't know where you are right now. Maybe you're facing a business that is very struggling. Maybe you're thinking to shut down the business. Maybe you're thinking to change your career. Maybe you're thinking this doesn't work. You will never get financial freedom or time freedom. No matter what these doubts are, my friend, let me tell you, none of them is true. The truth is, anything is possible. And faith is the number one thing that can get you anywhere you want to be. I want to share with you a story I've heard from Think and Grow Rich book, which is one of my favorite books. There's a boy who has no ears. He was born with no ears, and his father always believed that my son is different, but I don't believe he couldn't hear. The truth was, back then, the baby has no ears. How could he hear? He couldn't. The doctor said, I'm so sorry, but your baby couldn't hear. After a while, as time goes by, the boy started to grow up. He has very, very tiny hearing ability, tiny bit, obviously equals to none, still deaf. The deaf boy has been deaf for a long time until when he turned 6, 7 years old. One day, his father just didn't want to give up. They tried all their helping aids, the hearing aids and everything. It just didn't work. But one day, the boy just got so mad. The desire create his power. He wants to hear because his father never gives up believing him. He practiced with him every single day and night, talking to him like a real person. He is a real person, like a normal person with ears. After so many years, one day, the boy started to hear. He called his mom, saying, Mom. And the mom said something to him, and he responded. His mom is full of joy and tears. The story is more or less like that. You can read this story by yourself, but this is telling us how powerful faith can be. To apply to my journey, back then in Hong Kong, I lived in Hong Kong for 5 years. And it was a tough journey for me because Luke and I, my husband and I, we didn't have our own place. We're looking for houses to buy, but it was sky high, the price. We said to ourselves, it's impossible for us to afford a house there. And because of my dream that I always wanted to come to Australia, I started to have that faith in me. And I kept going and going and going. Finally, I got a work sponsorship. And it's still not easy, but what I'm looking is my destination. I have strong faith. I'm believing that I'm already in Australia doing all the work, my future, my kids' future, they're living in this country. And even though there's so much barriers, I had to go through these texts and exercise and all the exams like IELTS. I need to pass all these exams up to 6.5 and 6 average of the English level. Even though I was pretty good at English, but when you go to professional tests, it takes a lot of time and energy to learn. I passed it. And all these tests, that's so many questions. I was locked in the room. I only have one chance to answer all these questions, and I passed it. And then I come to Australia. We got this amazing opportunity. And then I also have to drive a car. I need L lessons. It took me ages to get it. But I kept going. I even faced an accident. The car accident almost stopped me from learning and keep going. But because my faith is so strong, I know that anything is possible as long as I don't give up. After the car accident, I kept trying. I failed about 3 to 4 times in the writing lesson and 2 to 3 times in the driving on the road test. And I got it. Thank God I got it, because without a driving license in Australia, you can go nowhere. It would be such a disaster if it didn't happen. But my point here is, my friend, no matter what happened in your life right now, it's all temporary. As long as you believe in yourself, as long as you keep going, nothing can stop you. Nothing. But the bad news is the one and the only thing that can stop you is yourself. So may I ask you, would you be willing to accept yourself, to believe in yourself, to choose faith over fear, to use fear and anxiety to remind you these are just your stepping stones. to the final success. Be reminded that life is never the destination. It is a marathon. It is a journey that every day counts. Remember, never give up because your potential is huge. You can do anything as long as you believe. Have a great one, my friend. I wish you amazing success in business and in life. God bless you.